Well, this is part 3, Grandpa.
Oh, part 3, the same thing,
Part 3 of these questions I started almost exactly a year ago.
Oh, really?
And we're still not going to finish them because
Boy.
I take about 15 minutes today on each you and Grandpa. Grandma, I don't want to spend too much time since we have a short morning.
Boy. After a while, I want you to show me again how to rewind and go forward.
Those guys behind you were recording. They're out there goofing off, making noise, trying to bother us. You didn't hear them?
No.
Oh, they were all goofing off, trying to bother us.
Oh, trying to bother us?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
For fun. What were you going to say?
I was going to say I want you to show me again how to do forward and rewind on here.
You want me to do that right now?
No, when we get through this talk of yours.
Okay.
Or, I mean, talk of mine. Your interviews. Interviewer and interviewee.
Okay, I got my questions here, Grandpa.
Okay.
One of the questions that I had here was, if during your lifetime, have you ever smoked?
As a smoker, no, but I have experimented with smoking. Now, do you want more detail than that? Excuse me, I have to say...
Well, it could be like, why did you not smoke? And
now, let me tell you, before I talk, now that I say that, I have a cough. And that's not a smoking cough. I got a little cough in the chest. No, as a kid, I think I've told you maybe, though, the little small child, somehow the days before we know how smoking bad is for people, or think we know, and we didn't think we knew then, we'd go out in back of the barn and take newspapers and smoke, put dried up horse manure in it for tobacco and try to smoke them. Of course.
Damn dog's gonna knock my microphone over. Come on, get out here. Scram, Murph. Come on, get lost.
Somebody call
Randy, call your dog. Murphy. All right. Put the camera down with him.
Oh, shoot. Did you get a picture of him?
Not him, but
well, and that was very crude, little teeny boy experimenting. And not very healthy, naturally, but it sounds like you're telling a joke, but no kids did that then around the farm, because you take that dry stuff, it all had a kind of a, it was chewed up fiber after all, vegetable fiber. Yeah. Then later on, I think I told you on a tape one time, or in a biography I was writing out, where a cousin of mine took a cigar and cut it in half, and each smoked a piece of a half of it, made ourselves sick on it. I told about that in detail on a writing, maybe to you one time on tape, I don't know. And then, years later, I don't know why, but for some reason, oh, that's my mic hanging on, excuse me. I bought a pack of cigarettes on the way to school. This is after I was teaching college even, and I smoked half of a cigarette and had to put it out. I'd smoke two or three cigarettes out of the package and throw the rest away. And that's about all I ever. And one time we went to a dance, I think, and Walt Gunn and I smoked a half a cigarette, threw them away. I never was a smoker. I don't think in my whole life I smoked a package of cigarettes one at a time over years, because it didn't appeal to me. I'd smoke one and then my mouth tasted raw and acidy, and it didn't taste good. And I never was a smoker.
Did your parents or brothers smoke?
Well, my father was a chain smoker all of his life. My mother didn't smoke. My father killed himself smoking. I guess he lived to be almost 80, but still he died with bad lungs, bad heart, bad everything. My mother never smoked. My brother Dick smoked up till he was, I guess he started in college, smoked till he was about 50, or 45 or 50, and he quit cold. His wife smoked and she quit cold. Uncle Bob, my brother, smoked until he was, he's 80 now, he's about 60, and he quit cold. But they smoked a big part of they smoked quite a few years of their lives.
Uncle Bob quit when he was how old?
Oh, 55 or 60 along there someplace. He's 80 now. Yeah, it must have been 20, 25 years ago he quit, but he quit cold when he quit. Okay. And they say that if you quit cold, even if you're old, it'll still help you. But
it takes about 3 or 4 years for your lungs to get back.
Now compare what we're talking about their smoking to mine. See, I could say honestly, no, I never smoked. That experimental smoking.
Cigar here and there.
No, I didn't even smoke a cigar here and there. I smoked a piece of half a cigar when I was a little boy. That cured cigar smoking. I never experimented on cigars. So that little short experimentation, I could honestly tell people, no, I never smoked. I wasn't a habitual smoker ever. Never even a social smoker, unhabitual. So that's that, and your grandma, my wife, never smoked. Her father never smoked.
I went through that question with Grandma already. She said, yeah, her family.
Yeah, okay, you got through that already. All right, I'll be still now while you load me another question then.
Okay. How about work? We're gonna cover your work span up until like working before. We know about you, the famous retired teacher from Hartnell. But what about Leon Amyx, the boy in Visalia? What were your early jobs you can remember getting where you got like money, be it a quarter here, a nickel there?
Yeah, all right. Well, when I was about 5 or 6, maybe 6, a man down the road away from where I lived on the hill with my grandfather. I've talked about the hill before. My cousin Guy and I went down. We hired to pick potatoes. There's little teeny kids like that, and we picked for maybe a day. We called ourselves picking. They run, fluff the potatoes up with a tool, and then you go along and pick them out of the dirt with your hands and put them in a bucket, and then they put them in a bag. And we worked for. We thought we worked for a day. We probably, little kids like that, fiddled around and did a little bit of work, but it was going to work anyway. So we learned what working was. We worked a day, and then they didn't need us anymore. Naturally, they told us they didn't need little kids anymore. They put the men to work to get the job done. That's one job.
What'd you get paid for that?
Supposedly $1 a day, and I don't know if we got our full dollar or not. But that was the wage. I guess the men were getting maybe $2 or $3 a day. But I mean, grown-ups, men and women. Women worked in the field too. Then I picked prunes in the summertime off the ground. They shake them on the ground, and we pick them up in the ground in buckets and dump them in boxes, and we got paid by the box. I did those off and on in the summertime when I was young. Then I picked apples, and I cut peaches for the dryer. In those days, you line them up on a long table, and people would bring the peaches to you in a box. You'd slice the peaches and put them on a tray and take them out in the field to dry them, sun dry them. They'd put them in sulfur house first on peaches, I think, and apricots the same way. Did that. Then my main expert job when I was in high school was budding fruit trees in the nursery. I was an expert at that. They hired youths, and we got $4.50 a day when the irrigators and the other men only got $3 a day. We're expert laborers, expert budders of fruit trees.
That's pretty good pay for you?
Oh boy, $4.50 a day. That was high pay.
How old were you then?
Oh, 14, 15, 16, 17.
What would you do with that money? Since you weren't paying
Put it
for
away.
Put it
away. We didn't buy a car. No, put it away. Spend it sometime on clothes. Save some of it, and then let's see.
What do you think $4.50 then would be equivalent now? How far would that go?
Today,
maybe $40 maybe.
I got to figure what you mean now. Buying power.
Yeah.
For much as $50 to $60, $70. More, less than. Oh yes, things are more than 10 times as high now as they were then. $45 a day wouldn't cover today. You can live on $50 a day. That's only what, $50 a day is about $1,000 a month.
Not a grown-up couldn't, but I'm saying.
Well, we're kids, no. But I'm comparing it.
Okay.
That wasn't kids' wages. 4.5 wasn't kid wages. That was that.
You yourself were a kid though. We're earning adult wages.
That's right. And what do we do with it, huh? You mean?
Yeah.
Bought clothes with it. Save some of it.
No stereos to buy, or?
No, nothing to buy like it. We didn't buy. Well, some of them may have bought cars. We didn't. But I guess some kids worked the cannery. Kids worked a lot in the country, mainly the fruit and so on.
You did it during summer or in your off hours from school?
No, off hours in school, I didn't do anything because I was a musician, remember. And I made $4.50 an hour as a musician. To play for a dance, I get $4.50, $5 an hour, union scale. I wasn't a union player, but I got union scale.
That's pretty good pay.
Oh, pretty good pay. When you work all day for $4 or $5 and you go play a dance for 3 hours and make $15,
wow, yeah.
Musicians were professional people. And I was a professional drummer. I played for dances, I told you before, silent movies, when it had. But
so that part for your family brought in a pretty good extra paycheck for the
well, for those days, wasn't bad. That wasn't bad for those days. Yeah, that's right. So then any other kind of work, let's see. Oh yeah, after school, he said, I started out to deliver papers for a while, and I couldn't do it because I was playing for dances and playing baseball at school, and I wore myself out. I delivered papers a little while.
Did you have walking or on a bicycle?
Walking down, well, both. Started walking down Main Street for a while, and flipped them. We knew how to spit them on the door, and they'd spin around, going to the door of the store, and through the crack in the door. And
the Main Street of what?
How much? I've got to be careful I don't talk too much here. on one little item because
no, okay. I'm just timing it. We'll at 15 minutes we'll knock it off no matter.
I could develop this a lot because there's a lot in that picture. I mean, that delivering papers.
Well, go ahead. I'm curious about.
Well, we go down the main street and flip them under the store. I could show you how to fold them someday. They put rubber bands around them and toss them that way. We've kept them out of a side bag, and they're folded into quarters. And you give them the right kind of a flip, they'll spin. They hit the sidewalk and they'll spin around, slide right under the door like a little frisbee on the floor. And there was a place down on Main Street where there was a restaurant, and the guy would let us go through the store and go out the back door, and he'd every time we'd go by, he'd get a great big hunk of bread and a piece of a mop that he's cooking the meat with, and slap some nice grease all over it and give us a slab of meat and make us a nice big meat sandwich. Go out the back door and eat our sandwich. And there was a candy store. Give a piece of candy, throw it out the door at the candy store. But we get along pretty fast walking down Main Street. Then I started.
Let me ask you real quick about Main Street. What is Main? Is it Main Street Visalia you're talking about?
I'm from Visalia, yeah.
You live there.
Yeah.
What is Main Street? Is that the name of it, or?
Main Street's the name of the street.
Do you think it's still called Main Street?
It's still called Main Street.
If I go through there, I go looking for these.
Go look for Main Street and Main Street.
Won't see the same businesses, but.
But Main Street's still there. Yeah, that's right. And one of my friends worked in a stationery store after school on weekends. He kept on working after he graduated. I don't think he went to college. And then later on, he bought the business. And when we retired, not retired, when we had our 50th anniversary, he was an old gray-haired man who owned the store where he worked as a boy in the drugstore.
So
a stationery store, I mean.
Typical Horatio Alger.
And there was another fellow who played the clarinet in the high school band. He worked in the music store and sold sheet music and sold instruments and cleaned up the place, so forth, as a high school boy. Then he worked after high school. In a few years, he bought that business, and he ran the music store. It's interesting.
Let's push on ahead just a little bit to your next stage.
Yeah.
Like in college years. Did you work at all between college years until you got your first teaching job?
Well, yeah. I worked in the brickyard for 15 months. Well, first went to Niles in 1936 and got out of 26 and I got out of high school, and I buttered roses. And that was a tough job because you had to wear cuffs on here up your arms with leather cuffs so you wouldn't scratch yourself.
Roses?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Take one kind of a rose bush that you grow from its own root. Then you take the bud from another one from another kind of has a different kind of a flower, different aroma, different scent rather, whatever you call it, and you put that bud on that bush, and it grows. And you cut the old bush down, you get the new. All roses are done that way, even now. That's the way they get a stronger rose and change the variety of roses.
You still do that today, right there at your house in Auburn, huh? Get the roses going.
No, but I didn't bud any of those. The roses we bought were budded, sure.
Oh, you don't do them at home. They usually come that way.
Yeah, at home. The nurseryman budded. I was budded for the California Nursery Company out in the field. Budded whole rows of roses. Whole rows of roses. Huh?
How'd you learn how to do that?
That's the same as budding fruit trees, same technique.
Ah, what you did earlier on.
Yeah. In fact, I did in 1925. I did it in fruit trees, prune trees, apricots, peaches, pears, and so forth. And then in a part of the summer of 26, after we moved, I budded roses. Then I went to work at the brickyard for a long time. That was
between high school and college for a while?
Yeah, between high school and college. Between the summer of 1926 through the summer of 1927. Then I went to college and I worked for a bakery for a little while, cleaning up and helping wash pans and so forth. I got fired from that job because I missed work one morning because I missed the bus to school and I had no telephone. I couldn't phone in. They canned me quick. Then I worked for a sign painter in college for a little while. He taught me how to do brush work for sign painting and for doing show cards for the movie theaters and so forth. I learned a lot of art of that kind from him. And I worked for a lady for room and board in college for a little while.
Did you do any of these jobs while you were in school, or these all before school?
You mean in college?
Yeah, did you work while you were studying?
Well, working for room and board was after school in the evening, sure, and before breakfast waiting on the table and washing dishes.
I mean simultaneously with school, during the 4 or 5 years you were studying.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
This was during, this I'm talking about now while I was in school.
All right.
The dishwashing and the sign painting and the room and board work was all, then of course I played for a dance or two in San Jose and I joined the Musicians Union in San Jose. I'd never belonged to the union before, but I joined the union there. And then I got too busy to play for dances and Of course, I told you before, I really was heavy into baseball. I really was heavy into it. I wasn't about to become a pro, but I loved baseball. I didn't like it. I loved it. I still love it. It's an art form, especially when you can play center field and watch the pitcher and watch the catcher and watch the balls come to left and right of you and watch them go over your head and watch them come short ones in front of you. Figure out ahead of time when to back up the second base, when to back up the throws.
At what point during, this is just a question to put time in perspective. At what point during college did you meet Grandma? Was it during school or after school?
Before it was on the way going to school on a commute.
What year were you in?
Well, I was a sophomore. That was 1928. I was a freshman in 1927. I began my sophomore year in 1928, and I met her on the bus in 1928.
So more or less through your last 3 years of college, Grandma was in the picture, one way or another.
Oh yes,
okay.
Yes. She's my girlfriend, and she's my fiancée. Yeah, we knew each other about 3 years before we got married.
Okay.
And we went together, as in a way, we didn't go any place much. We went to visit. I went to her house and visited more than we went places.
I was trying to picture, like, you didn't have, I mean, your free time was probably at a premium during your school years, since you had a girlfriend, you had jobs, you had sports, you had your studies.
I had baseball.
Full load going on your last 3 years.
That's right.
A lot of things happening.
Very full, and very tiring. As you know, you went through baseball days too, and football days, and tried to study too.
Well, when you finally graduated, what were the next steps of jobs that led up to the Hartnell job?
What was the question?
Once you graduated, once you finally finished your studies at San Jose, what was your first job after school, and what are the jobs that led up to the Hartnell?
Oh, well, after I graduated in 1931, and I went up to American River above Folsom, which is the lake now, on a vacation. I'd applied for a job in Salinas. I had to go to Stanford to interview the new man who was going to be new superintendent in Salinas. And he sent me a letter up there, because I told him where I'd be, and he sent me a contract up to the Loomis post office. We got it, went from the river down, got special delivery at the Loomis. You know where Loomis is, right down near the lake, down
yeah.
Auburn.
I know where the sign is. For the
and we got the job to go down to Salinas, and I started teaching the 7th and 8th grade school down there, teaching art in the 7th grade and 8th grade in 1931.
Junior high school, was that called?
Huh?
Was it called junior high school?
No, it wasn't junior high school. It was called a grammar school. No, it later became junior high school. They added 9th grade later on, later years, but it was only 7th and 8th grade then. And I taught art there, and then I asked for a job if I could go teach a class after school in the college, not the high school, in the college, the junior college, which had their classes in the high school building at that time. So the superintendent told me to go out and talk to Mr. Lemus at the junior college about this thing. 2 or 3 days later, he called me and told me to go out and see Mr. Lemus. And I went and saw Mr. Lemus, and he had a program. Said, "How'd you like this program?" I said, "What are you talking about?" He said, "Well, wouldn't you like to teach? Would this be all right for your program?" And I said, "Well, yeah, but." He said, "Well, don't you want to teach here?" I said, "Yeah, but." It turned out he offered me a full-time job, not an after-school job. But I had 2 high school classes. I had one study hall and one watercolor class in high school, and one night school class to teach, and then also a load of teachers in junior college for the first year. The next year, then we had a new building, another campus for the college, and I was full-time in the college in 1938. I was full-time in the college, and what was the new building at that time.
And what was it called then?
Salinas Junior College. It didn't become Hartnell College until about pretty late 40s it became Hartnell College.
Was it part of the regular California junior college system?
Oh yeah. We had a Northern California Junior College Association, which included Salinas and San Jose Junior College, called in, San Francisco Junior College, Marin Junior College, Menlo Junior College, Modesto Junior College, and Sacramento Junior College. We had a couple of conferences a year where the whole departments of the whole colleges got together for big meetings.
There were quite a few back then. I wouldn't have imagined there were that many.
We played see, we're in a state college, Oh, wait a minute. Wait, I'm going back to college days. Well, baseball, I mean. When I was teaching at Hartnell or Salinas Junior College, I didn't play baseball naturally. However, during the war, I was offered the job of extracurricular of being the baseball coach at Salinas Junior College, and I turned it down because I knew it would take all my time to go on baseball trips and go out there after school every day and pass the bats and the baseballs out and everything. And so I turned it down, and another guy took it over for the duration of the war for 2 or 3 years.
Oh, that would have a lot of time. let me not. We'll cut it off right there, Grandpa. I'm gonna get Grandma in a bit before.
Yeah. When we get out of the chair.